everyone, it's me again, Orlando Walters, Dr. Orlando Walters, and I've been asked very frequently how to reduce the chances or avoid core muscle injuries. So I've got 4 things to keep in mind when thinking about not having or reducing your chances of a core muscle injury. Number 1, posture. Posture, 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 posture. I cannot say it enough. You want to make sure you're maintaining good posture with any and everything that you do. When you're maintaining good posture, all parts are in its anatomically correct position. So there's not uneven wear and tear on the parts or the body parts. So that includes bones, muscles, joints, ligaments, and tendons. So you're maintaining good posture anatomically, you're maintaining correct biomechanics. You're maintaining a good situation, using the muscles and the joints the way they were designed to be used. So the chances are you having an injury far lessened, okay? That's number 1. The second thing that we want to keep in consideration when it comes to reducing your chances of a core muscle injury is flexibility, or the lack thereof. We want to reduce your chances of poor flexibility as much as possible, primarily because when you have restriction or lack of movement in the muscles, you have a higher chance or prevalence of having muscle strain or a muscle injury. So muscles that we want to keep in mind are the abdominal muscles, as well as the major muscle groups which attach to the hip, which has an influence on the core. So we're talking about the hamstrings, glutes, the large muscles in the lower extremity. These muscles are strong and always powerful. They're not always flexible. So what happens is when they contract and they put too much tension, they create a lot of pressure on the spine, hence resulting in an issue. So stay tuned for number 3, or the third thing to keep in mind when considering reduction or decreasing your chances of having a core muscle injury is weakness and compensation. We want to make sure that you're not compensating for a weak muscle or something that you have poor coordination with. And the reason for that is if you're compensating for weakness, more than likely you're going to be overworking a specific muscle. And when you overwork that muscle too much, you might have a strain or an injury in that muscle which you've been using to compensate for the weak muscle to begin with. And when the time comes where it's necessary that you use that weak muscle because you haven't been using it long enough, now you have the chance of injuring that weak muscle and, bad situation. We're going to go on to number 4. All right. Okay, so the 4th and final thing I want you to keep in mind when it comes to reducing your chances of a core muscle injury, okay, is poor coordination. We want to make sure that you are coordinated as much as possible. This could be as simple as having a proper coordination when you're bending down, picking up a bottle of water out of your refrigerator, or grabbing your baby off the ground because you just learned how to walk and doing, some of the simple and cutest things. So we want to make sure that we're keeping a core contraction, we're keeping proper posture to the spine and all the extremities, and then making sure we have the proper segmented movements that uses the muscles which are designed for that heavy lifting or those particular kind of movements. All right, so these are things to keep in mind. We're going to go through recap. Number 1, we want to make sure we maintain good posture. Number 2, poor flexibility. We want to make sure we reduce your lack of flexibility. Number 3, we want to make sure we have no weakness, have good coordination, and then just overall good coordination. So I hope I was able to answer your questions, and any questions, always feel free to leave a comment below, okay? Hope to hear from you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.